Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog, so let's get to it. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all.
All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It's like you can hear it all throughout the store.
This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, first story up. Let's get Real Housewives franchise out the way. First, let's talk about Wendy. Our girl Wendy Osefo says that she wants her whole case thrown out, basically, because she feels like the evidence and the charges were brought about illegally. Okay, we still don't know exactly what she means illegally, and when I'm reading my notes, it makes me feel like, is it something as simple as that they did not read this woman her rights? Let me tell you guys what's going on here. She says that she's the victim of an illegal arrest. The lawyers are asking that all charges be dismissed due to alleged defects in the charging document. She is also saying that evidence is being suppressed she wants evidence to be suppressed because of unlawful search and seizure, and she wants all wire and verbal communication to be suppressed because of an unlawful interception. They're asking that any statements, admissions, or confessions be thrown out due to being illegally obtained. So that's where I'm wondering, did they not read this woman her rights? Because how else would they get these confessions and everything, but she's saying that it was obtained illegally? Did they wiretap the house or something like that? I mean, real rockstar lawyers, I know I put y'all to work every single week. But there's always some shit that we need some clarification on. So what exactly is going on here? I am not sure if this is routine carrying on. You know, this is what people, when they're trying to get their case dismissed, if this is what they put out there, or was there some mistakes that was made when they did do this arrest? I know that I felt that it was awfully strange that they had that press conference, and I'm wondering, does this have something to do with the press conference? Or is this much ado about nothing, all routine when, you know, somebody is trying to get their case dismissed or thrown out? So, yeah, the real rock star lawyers will have to weigh in on this one. What I will say is it looks like Wendy is putting them 4 degrees to work, ain't she? Okay, she was like, whatever way she can figure out to get herself out of this mess. I mean, that's what she's trying, and I guess I cannot be mad. It's too bad that she got to do it in front of the world, you know. But yeah, I mean, that looks like what she's trying to do. For her to say those, I just, certain things, the evidence, like the fact that he sent that email saying that he was trying to get it up, and, you know, could she think of anything else that they could put on that list? And then the fact that she had her wedding band on is just sort of like, there are things that has happened, you know, that would show that she was doing a fraudulent claim or something like that. However, if they got all of that information illegally, then it's not even, you can't use it in court. So, child, that's gonna be the mess. And if it's a loophole that she can jump through, maybe that's what it is. So yeah, the real rock star lawyers, the real ones, y'all let us know what's going on there, because she want to know if they talked to some witnesses and if they had took a polygraph test. I mean, she's asking for pretty much every single thing. Eddie ain't got a lawyer yet. Maybe he's gonna represent himself. You know, if only a fool represents himself in court. But then again, it's Happy Eddie. So but yeah, that's what's going on with that. Y'all weigh in on that and let me know what you think is happening there. While we're talking about Real Housewives, let's talk about Kelly Farrell from Real Housewives of Atlanta. They say that her ex-husband Shiovalo Farrell is suing Bravo for $200 million because they let what he says is defamatory things about him be said. And that was that he was a woman beater and that he stole money from Kelly and other people. He's saying that they applied for a $420,000 loan for a restaurant, which I'm assuming is that restaurant that either she's opened already or that she's still trying to open, wherever it is, okay, her chicken and waffles place. He's saying that they applied for that $420,000 loan together. However, she used the money, or a good portion of the money, for her own personal items, and that was the reason why they didn't open the restaurant. There were all these other financial issues, so that was the reason. He said that he paid the loan back, yet Kelly keeps accusing him of theft. So he's suing for $100 million for personal damages and another $100 million for punitive damages. Okay. And yeah, I guess he's going after Bravo because they are the parent company. That is the ones that put the show out there. And Bravo has the big money. So he's suing them. And I know Bravo is feeling like, you know, all this shit is just a pain in they pussy. Every time you turn around now, there is something legally going on with somebody on that Real Housewives franchise. And I know they are tired of it. Even though he's not going to, I mean, because there's been so many people, husbands and shit, that have tried the same thing and they've lost. So I have a feeling that it's going to end the same way for old Shiovalo, for real too. But again, Real Rockstar Lawyer, since you're already working on the other Wendy story, you might as well let us know about this one too, and let me know, do you think that he has, does he have a case? Or is this just like all the other cases when husbands try to, you know, get fancy and say that, you know, the network was defamatory towards them? Like, is this the same thing? Like, what exactly can Bravo say to get themselves out of this? I just don't know if I feel like he's going to win that. But Kelly, child, we're going to see with the next season. I've heard some things about Kelly. So we'll see. But yeah, we're going to have to change the damn name to Real Felons of Atlanta, Real Felons of Potomac. Okay, I'm just going to go in order of my notes because there's a lot of shit I'm talking about today. People are accusing Kiki Palmer's new show, Southern Fried Rice, on her own network, Key TV, of putting out some bullshit. You know, they mad about it because they're saying that the premise of this new show that's supposed to be coming out is that there is a Asian woman who gets accepted into an HBCU. Okay, and people are complaining that Kiki Palmer and her TV network is being tone deaf, and they don't want to see no damn show about no Vietnamese or no Asian woman getting accepted into an HBCU. Some people even say the nerve to put something like this out when it was Asians who sued the Ivy League schools because they said that they were accepting too many black people as opposed to Asian people. So folks feel like this is a slap in the face that Kiki is putting out a project like this and supporting what they deem is such foolishness. Now, Kiki Palmer did address this because Kiki Palmer, the book stops there. It is her network. Okay, it's not necessarily her own produced show per se. She didn't write it or anything like that. I mean, she's producing it, but she did not write the show. I didn't get the name of the girl who wrote the show, but what she said in layman's terms was that she put out the Key TV network so that she can provide a space for people who otherwise would not get these opportunities. She feels like the person that wrote this show, that has also written other shows for the network, she feels like this person is talented enough and should be given this space to be able to put this show out, that it's a good show, and basically you guys need to give it a chance, and that she ain't taking it off. Okay, it was a business decision that she made because apparently she was able to get the money. I'm not sure if the person that wrote the show came with the money or if there were other people that invested in her network that gave the money for this show, but there was money that was given, a good amount of money that was given, and damn it, they putting this show out there. And that if people are, you know, mad, then she's sorry about that, but she's always going to give creatives this space and this opportunity, which I appreciate from Kiki. You know, I appreciate that she's doing that. But you know, yeah, when it comes to the viewers, some people are upset about it. I mean, I guess we can just wait to see what the show is about. I haven't seen anything on Key TV. I don't know, what is that on? I mean, is that like a paid subscription, or is it on, where is it? I don't even really know how you get to Key TV. Whatever she posts on her Instagram is how I see her stuff. But apparently she's got this networks and this show is coming out and people are not happy about it. How do you guys feel about it? Are you willing to wait and see what it's about? You know, I love Kiki Palmer and I think she's supremely talented and funny. And I also believe that she you know, that a lot of people in high places really do respect and love her. And that is the reason why she is doing so well, you know. So I think that Keke is just trying to be that person who gives these opportunities to people who wouldn't get it. I'm willing to wait and see what the show is doing. But yeah, I mean, I can see why people would feel away. But you know, everybody gets so upset about every single thing. It's just sort of like, goodness gracious, Lord, here goes one more thing for folks to be mad about, you know. Let's just wait and see what the show does. But you guys let me know if that show does kind of rub you the wrong way. Do you feel a way about it? Are you just ready to watch the damn show? Okay, so I'm not mad. We're going to wait and see. But y'all let me know what you think about it. Let's move on to the next story. Child, I don't know if I need to keep on talking about Nicki Minaj and her crash outs and stuff. Well, let me just start here. Gucci Mane and his wife, Keisha Kaur, was on The Breakfast Club, and they were talking about many things in their interview. But we also found out in that interview that Gucci Mane was diagnosed with bipolarism, I believe, and also schizophrenia. I know it's schizophrenia. Why do I feel like it's not bipolarism? Was it major depressive disorder? I'm sorry, I'm getting everything mixed up in my head right now. But we do know that he was diagnosed with schizophrenia, which was the bigger diagnosis that I wanted to talk about, because first of all, you guys know I love Gucci Mane. I know that Gucci Mane has had the worst reputation, that he's crazy, that he is, you know, volatile, that he's this, that he's that. But for some reason, I've just always liked Gucci Mane. I always kind of felt deep down inside that maybe Gucci was not, I felt like he was a product of his environment, okay? When he got out of jail, you know, and kind of hit the ground running, he was with his wife and all, and they got married, and you know, he was real busy and all, and I thought that, you know, once he got out of jail and kind of turned over a new leaf, that things were working out well for him. I mean, at least for appearances' sake, that's what we saw. You know, we saw that he was now a family man, and, you know, he was still performing, and I thought everything was good, but apparently not. That is not what has been the case. You know, they've been quiet about it, but they're finally letting people know that, yeah, he's been sick. And now they've got him all leveled out, and they got him on the right medications. But yeah, they're letting the people know, which I was like, wow, this is deep. Very, very deep, you guys. I've never been in jail, but I can imagine that being held captive, you know, locked away, you know, not talking about whether or not he was guilty or not, because, you know, Gucci was out there in them streets and he was doing a lot of shit. So I'm not saying that he wasn't supposed to be in jail, but I can see how being in jail, being locked away, you know, whatever trauma that happens in the jailhouse, like, I can see how that can get you so fucked up in your mind. And then, you know, the perils and the downfalls, the pitfalls of being on drugs. And, you know, just like he said, just the high intensity of being stressed and worried all the time, these drugs that you are trying to take to dull and numb the pain, which those chemicals is doing a number on your brain, and then you get locked away and all you have is your brain to be inside of, to be thinking about constantly, you know, and just the trauma of being locked away and inmate and thing. I can see how that can basically drive you crazy. And I was sad for him, like, but that's probably a reality for a lot of men, a lot of black men who have been in jail. I mean, a lot of men, period, but a lot of people, period. But black men, we're talking about a black man right now. So yeah, I can see how that could be traumatizing and how that can break your brain. And that's basically what was happening there. In that interview, though, Keisha, who is all hats off, and a standing ovation for a woman that, you know, knows that this is the diagnosis and still stays in the relationship. I mean, this is something, a part of the vows that you take, right? But a lot of people don't take those vows seriously. That's a big order to ask for, because schizophrenics can be, people with schizophrenia, I should say, can be volatile and unpredictable, especially if they get off of their medication. I mean, it's a scary thing, a scary diagnosis to have to deal with. So it will take a very strong person to deal with that. So the fact that Keisha is there, she takes charge of it. She's able to pinpoint, you know, the triggers or when these things look like there's an onset of them, and she can actually be there and help them through it. I mean, that is a commendable thing, and I don't know why anybody would be mad at Keisha for doing that, okay? Because that is something that I don't know many people can deal with. And you can love a person to death to the fullest, and that is still something very difficult to have to deal with. So yeah, hats off to Keisha. But yeah, you guys, did you see the interview? And I just was like, I've never really thought about how when these people go to jail and when they get out, just what exactly happens to their mental. Like, I know in jail it's supposed to be a rehabilitative thing, but we know that that's not what happens in jail or in prison. Not the majority of people anyway. And a lot of people maybe sometimes come out worse than when they went inside, you know. Especially now that prisons is a business and it's a profit-making business, and you know, they don't care about those inmates. It's all about being a number, shuffling them in and getting the money for them. So I can just imagine, you know, it's hard though, because you know, you feel sorry for people in one sense, but you know that they have done something 9 times out of 10 criminal. You know, at least we know that Gucci was there because of what he did. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about everybody there, but we know that Gucci was there for the shit that he did. But still, at the same time, I just felt so sorry for them when they were telling that story. And I was reading the comments of people that were you know, that were making fun and still saying, oh, well, and all that. And I was just like, man, people are really, really cruel. You know, even when people open up and make themselves vulnerable and tell you about it, it's just sort of like, damn, you know, you ain't got to like the man to recognize that, yeah, that's a horrible, hard thing to go through, and for him and his wife, you know, to go through. So. But yeah, did you guys watch the interview? I was just like, man, you will never know the shit that people are going through. And that's why it's always, you know, sometimes it's good to give people grace. Now, when all this, after that posted and everybody was talking about it, everybody on Shade Room, Nicki Minaj had gotten wind of it. Now, we know that Nicki Minaj used to be not a protege, but you know, she was managed by Deb Atney, who was Waka Flocka Flame's mother, and you guys know her whole history with Nicki Minaj. And she had Gucci Mane, and she had Waka, and she had a bunch of people under her before Nicki got big and went on to get signed with Young Money and all of that. She was with Deb Atney, so she has a different relationship with them. The funny thing about Nicki is I feel like sometimes Nicki, she says truthful things, but it be so mixed in and garbled up with a whole bunch of other shit that it makes her look crazy. And I think it's because whatever Nicki is going through, some crazy kind of seeps through in the, you know, in what she's trying to say, because her response to that was so weird that it was just like, what exactly is she talking about? Now, first of all, her saying that Keisha Kaur has been trying to be her for the longest, I was just like, I had no idea that that's what Nicki thought. I don't look at Keisha Kaur and think of Nicki Minaj in any kind of way. Okay, no kind of way. They don't look alike. They don't act alike. Their bodies are not alike. You know, I just never saw it. But for whatever reason, Nicki believed that. And then she went on to say some other things about, you know, who don't like who over there. And, you know, they were all at Deb Atney's and all that stuff. And I just was like, Nicki. Oh, Nicki, you make it so hard to defend you. All I know is Nicki needs some help over there. Like, I feel like there's so many things that's going on over there in Nicki's camp that she can't seem to get focused on anything, and it just makes everything look very wild and chaotic. I don't know how else to explain it, but Nicki, I feel like, is just going through, and she just cannot seem to, child, I don't know. I feel sorry for the girl because she needs some help. she needs some help. I just told y'all about the house. She about to lose this house, and we trying to figure out if there's money issues going on over there. Now she jumps on this whole situation. I mean, I feel like she's alienated so many people in her own music community. Like, who is going to help Nikki out there? You know, like, who is looking out for Nikki? Because I feel like she didn't burn so many bridges that nobody wants to fuck with her, you know. And I don't know, but child, I don't know what else to make of that. What did you guys make of what Nikki had to say about the whole situation with Keisha Kaur and Gucci? It just felt like she just latched on to it. I think she was upset because in the interview, they were talking about how people were taking advantage of Gucci Mane when he was in the middle of the midst of the dark parts of his schizophrenia and all that. He didn't care about nothing, so he would give stuff away and people would take it knowing that he was not well. That was an interesting statement because, you know, when you got a whole bunch of people, hangers on and whatever, they're hanging around you. I mean, do they even know exactly what's going on with you, or do they just figure like, this nigga, you know, he want to give me this and I'm taking it, you know? Is it definitely considered like taking advantage of somebody, or is it just that's what happens when you got a big time rapper and all, and then you got a whole bunch of minions around them, you know, they doing what you tell them to do, and so then you give them shit and they take it, you know? I don't know, but maybe I think part of that had something is what set Nikki off, but it was in the haze of, I didn't understand. Maybe some of you Nikki, the barbs out there that follow me, maybe you guys, because sometimes we don't know Nikki speak. So maybe you guys can explain to us what Nikki was trying to say, why she was so upset about that. Okay. But yeah, that interview was definitely eye-opening, and it's probably not just Gucci Mane that's out there. I mean, he was just the fortunate one to get diagnosed and medicated. But I bet you that there are many rappers out there who have been suffering in silence. You know, you think about some of these rappers who have overdosed and things that could not handle it, and just, you wonder if they may have been undiagnosed as well, you know. A sad situation, you guys. But yeah, that was it. That was just a really good interview to watch. If you guys haven't watched it, you guys go in and check it out, and we're gonna move on to the next story. Lastly, you guys, there was a mass shooting plot that was foiled by the police when they were contacted by a Billy Joe Kegel's family to let them know that Billy Joe had just got on social media and said that he was on his way to Hartsfield-Jackson Airport to shoot it up. Okay, and that when he got there to the parking lot, that he actually said that he was there. I don't even think he was at the parking lot. I think he parked right at the front, but he said that he was about to go in there and pow everybody. So the family members were able to alert the police, and it was this whole logistical thing. I mean, when you read the article and it's explaining to you how this person called this department and that one, everybody was involved, everybody was up to it. They knew exactly what car he was in and what he looked like. And as soon as he walked into that airport, they had their cameras trained on him to look at him. I was like, you guys let him get pretty much good up in there. Seemed like they would have stopped his ass before he even got in there. But I guess he had to be on the property well before they knew that they could be able to get these charges pressed or something. I don't know, real rock star lawyers. Hey, we got some real rock star police people in here. Maybe you guys can tell us why they kind of let that man walk all the way in there like that. Or maybe it just looked like that. But anyway, he walked in there, they had the camera on him, and then they you know, what is the word? They obtained him and, you know, put him down on the floor, and they arrested him. After they got him arrested, they found an AR-15 in his car with 27 rounds of ammunition in there. And yeah, that was maybe confirmation that the man was on his way to do damage there. You know, Hartsfield-Jackson being the busiest airport in the world. So much goes on at Hartsfield-Jackson. I didn't realize so much does, but I have some friends that work there, and child, even stories that we don't never see on the news. It'd be a lot of shit going on at that damn airport. Kegel faces state charges of terroristic threats, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, criminal attempt to commit aggravated assault, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. There's a whole bunch of people walking to their cars and shit next to me because it's the end of the day. I'm doing this at the end of the day, so it's a little weird. There's somebody right next to me with a big ass bouquet of flowers getting in their car, so just I'm trying to act like I don't see her. He also faces federal charges of attempted violence at an international airport, interstate communications containing threats to injure the person of another, and being a felon in possession of a firearm. So Billy Joe been in trouble before. He's a felon, so this is definitely not going to look good for him. He's going to jail probably for a long time. But thank goodness that they foiled that plot, because I have a lot of people that's going in and out of Hartsfield-Jackson. Sometimes it feels like weekly. Okay, so I appreciate everybody that alerted the police to make sure that nothing like that happened. Yeah, you guys be careful out there. That's all I can say. Keep your head on the swivel, especially with TSA. You know, now that this government shutdown has stretched on as long as it is, and it looks like it's going to continue on, it ain't looking like nobody is letting up on it. You know, the TSA is going to get less and less, you know, people, I mean, you can't ask people to do a job and not get paid for it for any length of time. You know, people eventually is not going to take that job seriously and either not show up for it or don't give a damn what goes through there. And you wouldn't be able to, you wouldn't really blame them, you know, so that's a powder keg happening over there. That shit is gonna blow at any minute. I really hope that they get this this government shutdown taken care of, but inshallah, I ain't even gonna get started on y'all stupid ass president and the fact that he over there tearing down the East Wing. They've been doing it since September, but the story is finally starting to pick up steam. But you know, he's down there tearing up that East Wing because he wants to build this grand ballroom, and he wants to build this fucking presidential bunker, state of the art, because he knows that people is probably out there trying to get his ass, and he needs to be protected. Okay. I'm telling you, this story makes me so mad I don't even want to talk about it, because when I see that and the history that is being thrown away by this fool, they said that the bunker that's currently there is the president's emergency, what is it called? Operations center or something like that. You know, when some real shit about to go down, they put the president down in there. And that has been there since the 1940s, when Theodore Roosevelt was in the seat. And it's been there, remained there, just like all the rest of the fucking White House untouched. This nigga done got rid of the Rose Garden that Jackie Kennedy put in there, and he done got... Child, I just look at it and I just shake my head, and I just wonder who is okay with this stuff. I mean, obviously it don't even matter if they are or not. Okay, they said that the bunker and this ballroom is going to cost $250 million, and does that number sound familiar to you? Even though YSAP tells us that the ballroom and the bunker is being built by donations from private donors, don't you think it's very interesting that this man is asking for $250 million from the DOJ because he says that he was illegally prosecuted from the DOJ, so now he's demanding $250 million. So, child, I'm telling you, I don't even want to talk about it. I'm just over it. I'm over it. Every time I see it, this shit makes me so mad, and I'm tired of being mad. So anyway, y'all, that's that on that. We gonna close this top of the blog zone out. All right, you guys, I cannot fucking see without these glasses. My eyes are doing the number, child. Anyway, you guys, we do this every single week, so make sure you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.